Hi, in this demonstration we're going to be creating a vector self-portrait. I'm going to start off with this 1920 by 1080. This is probably the size I'm always going to call up, so you can always call it up. Oh, I don't want that one though. Don't want all that grid stuff. Let's do it this way. New file. There we go. That other stuff was guides for television. Oof, that's way ahead. I'd like skip to the last lesson, all in one thing. Okay, so now I have my artboard up, right? One artboard, and I want to import a file to this area. And so I have my self-portrait stored over here. Let me just grab that. There's my self-portrait. I just want to reduce it on the page a little bit. I just dragged and dropped it in, and it brought it in. You can see as an overlay, and if I come over here to layers, you can see here is a layer of it, and I can lock it. Put a little lock there, and that locks me. I can't select that now, which is great. Okay, back to properties over here, because what we would like to do is color this in using the vector stuff. So this is just a template for what we're going to do, and you can use templates in Illustrator to do lots of things, but in our case here, I'm going to switch this to an orangey color, and I'm going to get rid of the vector lines because I want to create a shape that doesn't have any of that. And I'm going to use, I could use the freeform tool, the curvature tool, or I can use the pen tool, and I'm going to use the pen tool. And I'll start here where I have a, I know I have a straight thing. Oh wait, I want to turn down the opacity of this to 50%, otherwise I won't be able to see what I'm doing. Alright, I'm going to start here and just color in this part. And I'm just going to go straight. I'm not going to bother doing the curves because I can come back and put those back in. I just want to knock out the bulk of this whole thing. However, anywhere where I want to put a curve, I'm putting a node. I'm clicking down. I'm just going through and I'm clicking little, and every time I click down, it puts down a dot. Doot, 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 doot. And then once, see when I go back here, see how it gets that little dot there? That means I can close it. So I close it on there, and it very much did not do opacity. There we go. So now I have the color on my face, and I can now go back and use this tool, not that tool, this tool, and move stuff around, not that tool. Where is it? Pen tool. This tool, anchor point tool. So I have to switch these to being curves. And you do that by holding down and pulling out, and it creates, it turns that straight into a bit of a curve. So now anywhere where I want a bit of a curve to happen, I can go in there and just kind of click on it and then drag it out, although we know very well it's sometimes hard to mess with stuff. And then if I want to move it, I have to switch back to the other tool to move that back. This tool, all it does is really switch it from a linear tool to a flexible tool. Just got to be really careful how you use it. Now if I want to say this comes out too much, I want this to be straighter, I can adjust the volume of the curve by moving this thing. See, if I move it here, the volume increases. If I move it more towards the center, the volume decreases. And so that ends up giving me a straight on one side, really, and a curve on the other. Something like that. Great. Now, if I wanted to, I should have probably made the face, because then I could have done a vector outline on this. I suppose I still could. So if I grab my thing here, instead of having nothing there, I make it a black outline, and then I increase the stroke on it. You can see it starts drawing the line, and if I go into layers here, I can hide this for a second, and you can see that it's drawn that. And I have the opacity at 50%, so I can see what I'm doing, but if I turned it all the way up, it'd look more like that. And we can change the color and stuff later on. Great. Okay, so now that I'm done with that part, I'm going to go in here and grab the pen tool again. I'm going to change my color here to a brown color. Oops, carefully you don't do that. Alright, back to orange for that. And I'm going to click here on the board and create a small shape in it so that I'm not on that layer anymore. And then I'm going to turn off vector, and then I'm going to turn off vector by hitting this little one that says no vector, please. Click back here, select my brown thing, and now I'm on to a new piece. I could have gone over here and created a new layer, but generally if you just create a new shape somewhere else, it's the easiest way to do that. Alright, so now I want to do the hair, this is going to be a little weird, but I'm just going to, because this skin layer, right, is already pretty good, I'm going to create a layer behind this, so I don't have to worry about in here. So I can really just click. I want the hair to be inside this orange, because we won't be able to see where I'm putting it right now. We'll only be able to see these lines here. So if go through and click it like I did before. Doot doo doot doot doo doot doot doo doot doo do click 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 these, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, and then close it, right? And now I have the hair level done. It's not exactly the same, but we can go in and fix that as we've just seen. So I want to go back to this one here, to the properties, right? And I'm going to make this 100%. And right now the hair is in front of this, but I can right click on this and hit arrange and bring to the front the skin part, twink. And then you can see the hair drops back. I can also go to the hair and create a stroke for the hair, right? And if I increase that, oops, going the wrong way. If I increase the stroke from the hair, and then we can go in and use our anchor tool to kind of maybe add some curvature to some of this stuff. And by the way, it's not like I drew my hair here exactly. I don't mind if it's a little bit off, but my hair isn't that sharp, so I want it to be a little bit softer. So I'm just going to come in here and kick some of these in the boot. There we go. Stage 1 of creating your face. Woo, we've created the skin and the hair. Okay, in the next video, we'll take this a step further.